Assalamu alaikum guys. So today in this lecture we are going to do indicators and types of oxides. Okay. So what are indicators? Indicators is a substance which indicates the presence of an acid or a base by change in color. So and what are some examples of an indicator? So the example of an indicator is the methyl orange, litmus, and universal indicator, and there are also some other indicators, but we'll cover these three in this lecture. Okay. So the first is that the methyl orange uh, what does a methyl orange indicates in an acid? It indicates a red color in an acid and a yellow color in a base. Okay, and a litmus, a litmus is placed in an acid. It indicates less. It indicates the red color, and while in the base, it indicates blue color. Okay, while in while a universal indicator in an acid, what does it indicate? It indicates red color in the acid and a purple color in a base, and it also indicates a neutral. Okay, by a green color. So these are indicators. Where does an indicator? Now we are going to do types of oxide. So there are four types of oxide: acidic oxide, basic oxide, amphoteric oxide, and neutral oxide. So what is an acidic oxide? Acidic oxide are those oxides which react with an alkali to form salt and water. They react with an alkali to form salt and water. They dissolve in water to when they dissolve in water, they form acid, and acid do not react with acid. Okay. I hope you guys are noting these points. And what are some examples of acidic oxide? Some examples of acidic oxides are carbon dioxide, sulfuric, sulfur dioxide, phosphorus oxide. So what are some formulas of these? So for carbon dioxide, CO2, for sulfur dioxide, it's SO4, SO3, and for phosphorus oxide, it's P4, oxygen 10, O10, P4, O10. And in a room temperature, what are the states? It's gas, carbon dioxide is gas at room temperature, and sulfur dioxide is also gas at room temperature, and phosphorus oxide is a solid at room temperature. So, which acid are produced when they are in water? So, in water, so when carbon dioxide is in water, carbonic acid is produced, while when sulfur dioxide is in water, sulfuric acid is produced, while phosphorus oxide is in water, phosphoric acid is produced. What are the formulas of these acids? For carbonic acid, its formula is H2CO3, and for sulfuric acid, its formula is H2SO4, and for phosphoric acid, it's H3PO4. Okay, they are so we are done with acidic oxide. Now let's go on to basic oxide. So what are basic oxide? Basic oxide are those oxides which react with an acid, form salt and water. Okay, they react with an acid to form salt and water, and they are mostly metal. They are mostly so the oxides of most metals are basic oxides. Okay, they are insoluble in water. Okay, except sodium oxide and potassium oxide, while they are readily soluble in water. Okay, they readily dissolve in water to form alkalis. Okay, what are basic oxides are solid at room temperature. Okay, they react with acid to form salt and water. And what is an example for this? When calcium oxide react with nitric oxide, they form calcium nitrate and water. Okay, when calcium calcium oxide react with nitric acid, what do they form? They form they form calcium nitrate plus water. Okay, calcium nitrate plus water. Okay, so we are done with this example. We are done with Now we are done with basic oxide. Now let's go on amphoteric oxide. So what are amphoteric oxide? They are metallic oxides that react with both acid and bases to form salts and water. Okay. So its example zinc oxide comes. Okay. So basically they are metallic oxides that react with both acid and bases to form salt and water. Okay. What are the example? Its example is zinc oxide. So for example, when zinc reacts with an acid, means let's take HCl. When it reacts with acid, what happens? Zinc chloride is formed and H2O is formed, means water is formed. Okay? So while in the other form, when zinc reacts with a sodium hydroxide, means a base or an alkali, what do they form? They form sodium. zinc oxide, and water. Okay, so this is sodium zincate, not sorry, I thought it was zinc oxide, but it's called sodium zincate. Okay, so in the first reaction, what we observe is that zinc oxide behaves as an acid, but in reaction two, we it behaves as an acidic oxide. So in the first reaction, it behaves in a basic oxide, but in the second, it behaves in a as an acidic oxide. Both reactions, salt and water are formed. Okay, so that this is what hence it is called amphoteric, means that it shows both culture of an acidic oxide and a basic oxide. Okay, so what are some other examples? You can take other examples like aluminium oxide, and lead oxide is also a good example for amphoteric oxide. So so we are done with amphoteric oxide. So now let's go on to neutral oxide. So some non-metals form oxides that show neither basic nor acidic properties. Okay, these oxides are called as neutral oxides. Okay, some non-metals show neither basic oxide nor acidic oxide properties. They are called neutral oxides. Okay, so what are some examples of a neutral oxide? We can take water, carbon monoxide, and nitric acid are some example of neutral oxide. So we are done with neutral oxide. Now let's do a dichotomous key, that how to find an unknown oxide. Okay, so this is a dichotomous key. So first, there is a question that does the oxide react with acid? If the answer is yes, then it's either basic or acidic. If the answer is no, then it's either acidic or neutral oxide. Okay. So then, if in this yes column, if we saw ahead, there is that does it react with an alkali? If the answer is yes, then it's amphoteric. Okay, it's amphoteric because it reacts with both acid and an alkali. While in if it's no, then it's a basic oxide because it's just reacts with alkali. Okay. While in this, what does if the answer is no, it's either acidic or neutral. While in the other, then if we go down in this pattern, in this chart, then there's a question that does it react with alkali? Okay, so if the answer is yes, then it will be acidic oxide. While if the answer is no, then it will be neutral oxide. So we are done with today's lecture. I hope you got the main points of today's lecture. So in this lecture, we have covered indicators. That what are indicators? They are substances that indicates presence of an acid or base by change in color. What is an acidic oxide? Acidic oxide are those substances that react with an alkali to form salt and water. Basic oxides are those substances that react with an acid to form salt and water. Amphoteric oxide reacts with both acid and bases to form salt and water. And neutral oxide doesn't show either of the cases. Either it doesn't react with a basic oxide, it doesn't react with a base, or not, nor it react with a acid. And it's example of water, carbon monoxide, and nitric acid. And we are done that how to form an unknown acid, how to find an unknown acid, an unknown oxide. And in this lecture, we have covered all these points. So we have done acid in the previous lecture and bases in the previous lecture. So we have covered these two topics until now. And in the next lecture, we are going to cover salts, inshallah. So, hope you guys understand and noted all the points until now, and hope you have seen the other parts. So, I know that this video took a lot of time for making, but I was busy a little in my works, and hence it made it, and hence this video is too late to be made. So that's all for today, guys. And hope you understood well. And the next lecture, we are going to do salts. Okay. Hope you understood it. And goodbye for today, guys. So please subscribe and comment and like this lecture, and do share it with your friends who are in your who are facing problems in oxides. And do see the other two lectures of acid and bases, and do share those with your friends that if they are facing any problem in it. Okay, guys. Allah Hafiz.